Today we're going to go over the best starter aluminum setup in Satisfactory. We're going to make this fast and easy, so grab a coffee and let's get to work. Okay, so for this setup, we're not going to use any alternates. It's all going to be default. And we will be producing 60 casings and 30 sheets per minute. Now, that's not a lot, but these blueprints that I have made allow you to expand this as much as you want. So if you want to double, triple, quadruple this as your first setup, then you can do that pretty easily. To start this setup, you're going to need 120 bauxite, 120 water, 60 coal, 100 silica, and 10 copper ingots. Okay, now that you have all of your resource input done, we can look at the recipes that we're going to be using. And like I said, we are using the default recipes, and that's to make sure that everybody can have access to these blueprints and this method of making aluminum products right at the start. Okay, so to start off, we're going to throw in 120 bauxite, and then we're going to mix that with 120 water. Now we want this to run at 100%, and you'll see that this is actually saying 180 water per minute, and we'll get to that in a little bit, but we're only going to put 120 water in there for now. We're going to make some alumina solution and some silica as a byproduct. We'll deal with the byproduct of silica later. We only care about the alumina solution right now. That alumina solution is going to get combined with our coal input of 60 per minute. This refinery will be underclocked to 50%, and we're going to produce 180 scrap per minute. But we're also going to produce 60 water as a byproduct. Now, there are a couple ways that we can get rid of this water. We can package it and sink it. We can throw it into some other refineries and make some pure ingot recipes, or we can loop it back into our alumina starts and recycle it that way, which is what we are going to do. So if we head back over here, that 120 water combined with our 60 byproduct will make 180, which is the perfect amount. So with everything running at 100%, we will never make more than 180 water in this system, which is the perfect amount. So now we have the other products of silica as a byproduct and the aluminum scrap. Those are going to get combined in the foundries. Both of these are going to run at 100%, and we're going to make some ingots. You can see one of these is using 75 silica per minute, and this is why we're adding in 100 silica per minute, because we're only producing 50 from the refinery. And then finally, we are just using ingots to make casings in 2 constructors, and in one of our assemblers, we are using ingots and the copper ingots that we're bringing in. This is why we're bringing in 10 copper ingots. And that's it. And now we're producing all of the aluminum stuff we need. So let me show you how easy these blueprints are to connect to each other. Okay, and this is the entire area that this will take up, these 4 blueprints together. This is an 8x8. And if you look down in the hotbar here, we have stage 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they correspond with kind of what they're making. We have alumina solution, scrap, ingots, and then I have casings as the final production. And now we're going to go ahead and place these down. So if we grab out our first one, we kind of want the walkway to be facing on the inside. And if we do it that way, you can see that on the bottom right, we have conveyors on this side of the wall. So if we just press H, we can kind of nudge this blueprint into the corner right on the edge, just like that, and you can see it lines up everywhere else. And you can kind of see our conveyors and everything are just ready to be connected to every other blueprint. So we're going to go ahead and build that. We can then come over here, grab our second one, which is our scrap blueprint. Now we can build off of blueprint mode like this. We press H, you can go look at the edges where they line up, and blueprint works as well, but you don't have to use blueprint. You can also just keep snapping it to the foundation, but that looks just about correct to me. So we can place this one here. We grab our third one, again, blueprint mode here, and just make sure the walkway is facing inwards, and our fourth one, walkway facing inwards, and boom, we're pretty much all done. And this is the bulk of the production. Now there's a lot you can do with this blueprint set, and what I recommend doing is making a walkway that you can hide the logistic line down here to where you can add in lots of inputs, because you'll need a lot of room because you have 5 inputs here, 1 being water and 4 being items. So having a large logistic area would help. But one of the best things about this build is that you can just stack them next to each other. And if you think about these factories or these blueprint sets being their own production building, this ends up being like a manifold into each production building. So each blueprint is kind of, or blueprint set is its kind of own production building, if you think about it like that. And that way you can scale this up really, really fast. Now let's take a look inside the logistic area, as it might seem a little crowded. If we just start from the beginning, you have all of your inputs very easily. Something I'll do before I upload this blueprint is I'll make sure to put signs here, just so you know which item is supposed to go where together. That way nothing gets mixed up. And some of these belts you can't connect to the end, which is why they're not connected, but I kind of connected everything I could for the most part. This belt right here is going to be for copper. Then we have silica coming in right here. We have coal and bauxite, and that's about it. You just go around connecting every belt. You go through the production line. You'll need to connect, say, your coal right here. Your water will have to go back over here. And if you go to the opposite side, these are your exports. So these are areas where you'll have your casings and outclad sheets coming out, and you can kind of send them wherever they need. And they can also go into their own kind of bus system on this side. So you could have a walkway here that has an exporting bus underneath to go wherever they need to go. And real quick, I just want to show you guys what this thing looks like with aluminum. I think it looks pretty good. And if you scale this up to a large scale factory, I think it could look really cool. And all 4 of these blueprints will be in the Discord, so you can go grab them for free. And if you guys want access to all the blueprints we make on the save, they're released first on the Patreon, second on the YouTube join memberships and Twitch subscribers. And then after the belt those, it becomes free for everybody. If you guys are still watching at this point and haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Let's hit that subscribe button. And until the next video, peace.
Words, tongue sharp, you left in thirds. You pitching verbs, I knock it out, I'm flipping birds.